you ever felt like you have too many things you want to do? I often have this problem as well. A few months ago, I was like, I want to start YouTube, but also I want to start my blog, newsletter, podcast, and make an online course and an app. So I used to have an endless to-do list with hundreds of projects. But as I learned, if you try to do everything at once, you'll end up doing a mediocre job at everything. There is this book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. As you might have guessed, it's about focusing on one thing at a time instead of multiple things. The underlying hypothesis behind this book is this: multitasking is a myth. It means you can do two things at once, but you can't focus effectively on two things at once. So every time you try to do multiple things at once, you're just dividing up your focus and dumbing down all of the outcomes in the process. This is what happened to me at the beginning. I was trying to make YouTube videos, make my own website, write a blog post, start a newsletter, all at once. And my to-do list got bigger and bigger. But if your to-do list contains everything, then it's probably taking you everywhere but where you really want to go. So what do you have to do to solve this problem? Well, you have to pick one thing that matters most and give it all the time it needs. There's this another book I really like called Meant for More by Lisa Sasevich. In this book, she talks about this exercise she does to find the one thing. First, make a big to-do list of everything you want to do. But instead of trying to put the list in order of priority, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do from this list that will make the biggest difference, give me the most freedom, or really move the needle for me today? After you pick the one thing, what you have to do is to do the thing. Just focus 100% on the one thing you chose. Once you've finished, look at your list again and pick your next one thing. Complete it and repeat this process. This is very similar to what Gary Keller calls the focusing question. That is, what is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This is what I do every week. I look at the list of things I want to do and ask this question. What is the one thing I can do this week such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Then I just do the thing. The point is, if you have a bunch of things you want to do, start doing it one by one. In my case, I started with YouTube because I thought it was the most important thing for me. Then after that, I made my own blog. Then a few months later, I started my newsletter, and then another few months later, I started my podcast. So make a list of everything you want to do. Ask yourself the focusing question. Pick one thing and do it. This way you can be so much more efficient and end up achieving more in the long term. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question or just want to say hi, just feel free to send me a DM on Twitter or send me an email. Alright, have a great week. Bye.